have to do it in 8-hour increments, but they've also introduced the whole driving. You have to take rests at politically mandated points in time. You can't drive tired, you can't, whatever it is. You have to take mandated rests and all the things. So I think it adjusted. You don't get fined when you're tired. You fall asleep when you're tired and crash into trees. You get fined when you go past your mandated rest period. Which is interesting. I like the whole way station tag thing. We actually have one of those just down the highway from us. It used to be a mandatory, everybody, all the trucks always have to pull in. But they built the radio gantries, so now only car dealer sim. That's one I haven't come across. What's the other games I've got? I've got Railroader. I know they're doing a maintenance of way patch, but that hasn't been released yet. And Ground of Aces, which is Second World War, build a British, it's a base builder for a British airport during the Second World War. That just got a whole host of upgrades the last week, so that now fires are a thing and you have to put out the fires, and shooting down aeroplanes can cause fires, and exploding aeroplanes on the ground can cause fires. So that's a whole new level of immersion there. Oh, maintenance away still a couple of months out. Oh, okay. That notice might be on my email list. They send out emails every so often to say, hey, this is how far we got. And that's usually how I get my updates on Railroader. Okay, I think I'm going to didn't check for trains. I'm going to do the 2 fields up to the north, and then we'll come back into the region to our left. Wow, 2 school buses. Good grief. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Goodness me, I'm not surprised there's so many cars and 2 school buses. That's going to hold everyone up, because the first one stops to pick kids up, and so everybody has to stop behind it. And then if the second one has to stop, he's going to catch up to the first one eventually, but everybody's just going to be stuck behind them. Ugh. Alrighty, here we are again. And off we go. Oh, now speaking of rail cranes, I want a rail crane for my model railway, and there was a very expensive one came out a couple of years ago, like $270, $300 for a crane, but it was a huge, great thing with a massive long boom. and I decided, yeah, that's a little bit too expensive for something that in essence is just going to sit on the side of the railway and not actually go anywhere. But one of the cheaper manufacturers decided they were going to bring out a smaller crane. So one that picks up, this was like the boom's 2 foot long, and it works. You know, the jib works and the boom turns, and you've got little plastic feet that you stick on the side so it doesn't fall over. It's a nice crane, but yeah, it's a little bit pricey for me. But this smaller one is like $80, and it still has working bits as far as I gather. The problem was they were, I'm modelling sort of when privatised rail was still around in the steam era, and they did a Midland crane, an East Coast crane, and a British Rail crane. And I sort of, I wish, and it started me doing research into this manufacturer who built the real world manufacturer who built cranes, and they built cranes for all of the railways. And so we had the announcement cranes are coming about a year ago, and they're getting close to release, I think, now. And literally 3 months ago, they said, you know what? We've decided to do another crane livery, and we're going to do the Western region. Yes, maybe I will buy one. Because that does fit what I want. So yeah, building a crane, buying a crane. Buying a rail crane, because then I can have a what do you call it? A recovery train with freight cars for damaged bits, tool truck, and a workers truck. And a crane. Yeah, so cranes. But yes, cranes are good. Yes, yeah, a workers' car. So it's got. And typically, the workers' car is just an old sort of something that was retired from revenue earning service 20 years ago type of rail car. So it can transport the workers, but they always carry a brake van on the back, or a caboose as an American would call it, which has the kettle and the fire, so people can make cups of tea and what have you. That was the nice thing about, And then the other option is occasionally what they would do is they would put the old passenger car would be a brake van, a brake van. So it would have a guard room in the back, and which of course also includes toilet facilities, which a standard guards van generally doesn't have. That was the thing with the mail trains. They would have mail cars, but they would always include a passenger brake van on the back so that anybody on the mail train could use the facilities when they needed to, because the mail cars obviously didn't have them. But they did have pass-through, what do you call it, corridors. So the entire train was accessible for obvious reasons. You know, you're on a train for 4 hours. The mail gets loaded into all of the cars, and there's a sorting office in one of the cars, but the people in the sorting office need to be able to get to the mail in the other cars. So, and they ran at passenger speeds because they were effectively all passenger frames with no seats or windows, just shelves for bags of mail. During British Rail period, I think just the British Rail period, they also had hooks on the side of the tracks and a basket that would pop out from the side of the train and would hook the mail bags so they could pick up mail on the go. And there would be a drop-off bin as well, so they would put mail bags in the drop-off apparatus. As it passed the bin, it would throw the mail bags into the bin. But, okay, we've done this side now. And I still have 2 tractors running, so this is all good. I think I got it. Okay. So now I want to head over here. I think this will be as good a place as any. Engage that, and off we go. Yeehaw. Awesome. So this big field, and then I've got like, that's reasonable size. There's 2 at the end there, and then there's 2 over there. They won't take us long at all. And we're going to have ample lime at the end of this, which is also awesome. How's my lime production doing? That one. That one. So we've still got 50,000 litres of stones. We've got less than a full car. That's the thing. This only holds 43,000. So I can do about 2 hoppers. 50, yeah, about 20,000 this holds. So I can do 2 of these. And so that's fine. I wish I could do that field there. Unfortunately, there's a crop in it. And you don't throw lime on a crop. That would just be bad. Okay, we joined this field up there, which is good because by the time we finish the lab, worked our way down, we should be at this end of the field. Something the workers don't consider, and I kind of like to, is being closest to where I want to be, as opposed to, and now I'm at the opposite side of the field. A number of times I have to pick up a worker, and he's all the way up in that corner, and it's sort of, have to drive across the field to get to the next one. What I'm not sure is actually we shouldn't be too bad because this field runs at an angle. I don't think we'll be at this end of the field when we finish spreading the lime. That's good. It's turning out to be a nice day on the farm. Actually, it's a nice day outside as well. Now that the Canadian smoke's gone, at least for now. All right. Turn around and engage. We had 5 male deer in our front yard yesterday, which was quite a thing. They were just eating. They weren't fighting. They were just eating. Didn't think they ran around in gangs, but maybe the neighbourhood is such. Getting bullied by the groundhogs or something. All right, that's a soon to be harvested field. So let's okay, I guess I could jump out and have a look down. Is he doing a headland? I have no idea what he's doing. For some reason, this row, also a headland, just gets done. Weeding. There's a lot to go here. He's working his way to there. We'll just start the rest of that. And I made it just in time. What else have we got? Yeah, like I was saying, the spraying on this field is kind of weird, and I've noticed it when I was doing ploughing and other stuff. It does this edge as a row. Don't know what he's doing there either. That's just weird. And I think he might have crashed into a tree. Yes. Should we go and sort him out? Finish that row off. Man. Goodness me. Okay. And the nice thing about using that sensor on the front is I can see in the top left side where it says control group, the front thing is turned on. And if you've got the mirror mounted sensors, you can't tell. Alrighty, back to you. Let's turn that on. And go. So, need to keep an eye on the sprayer. Goodness me, he's down to 22%. Or 24%. I'm thinking he might make it, so it might not be too bad of a thing. How are we doing with the lime? We're almost using no lime here. Still. And like I said, we've got those two fields there. That's a little bit bigger, and then 2 down the end there. So by the time we've got all these done, I'm thinking we're not going to have a lot of line left in the bucket. So yeah, had a little bit of an expensive week this week. Our new to us car. So we had it serviced at the beginning of the month. It's like there's some stuff that needed to be done. So it's while it's not absolutely needing an oil change, we decided we'll get an oil change done. We'll get it checked over by the dealership, and we wanted a new door unlocker remote thing because we only had the one. So we had to get one of those and get it programmed. So they changed the oil, they did the inspection, they didn't find anything wrong with it, and then Mrs. Osa started noticing there were issues when she went over a bump, especially when she went over a bump going round a corner. So she googled online, and it's like, well, it could be a broken steering strut, or it could be wheel balancing, the wheel weights fell off or something. So we have we use a discount tyre place that, because we go there to get our tyres checked, they'll do rotations, they'll do rebalancing the wheels and all the rest of it, even if the car we currently have was not fitted with tyres there. Our previous 2 cars were, so it's like, yes, your customers of good standing, so it doesn't matter if you didn't get those tyres from us, you will probably get the next set of tyres on your car from us. So yeah, we'll provide the service. So they took the wheels off and rebalanced 3 of them, and then he checked the front right one and said, oh, you've got a broken seal and it's leaking oil everywhere, which is obviously a bad thing. So of course the question now is, why didn't the dealership notice this? Because it's been going on for a while. And so we took the car to the guy who used to look after our Saab, because he could fit us in pretty much immediately. And he said, oh, the front right axle's broken and needs to be replaced. It's like, how the heck didn't the dealership notice that the front right axle was broken? So we're probably not using them. But we had to get the front right axle replaced, which was like $800. And he pointed out that we need some new windshield washers or windshield wipers, and the light on the rear license plate is blown. But I'm not paying $250 to get that lot sorted. I can go to AutoZone and buy windshield wipers and a bulb